Hello, how's it going? This is another response to my previous video on my other channel, Policing Theory Has Been Proven Wrong. And in that video, I was discussing about, was Viktor Sarudi the plainclothes officer? Now, the reason why this is important is because Barry and Honey Sherman, there was a plainclothes officer that answered their door. If you go by what Kevin Donovan said, there was an emergency call, Kevin Donovan said, from the Toronto Star, and he said that a plainclothes officer answered Barry and Honey Sherman's emergency call. This was 2 days after they were murdered, right? So, if you don't know, Viktor Sarudi is he is a neighborhood officer for Division 53. He was a plainclothes officer, right? And he got docked in pay in 2017, the same year that Barry and Honey Sherman were murdered. So, when I did some digging, right, as I found out, well, he has a MySpace account, Viktor Sarudi, and it is listed for North York. And if you go to Web Sleuths, there was a user named Cedars, right? Because Viktor Sarudi has a stump shop where he makes custom artwork and furniture out of cedar stumps. So when I went to Web Sleuths, Cedars, the account name, there was a glitch on the account, and instead of its actual initial for C, the initials were VS for possibly Viktor Sarudi, right? And if you go into the comment, this user also identifies that he used to live on Old Colony Road in North York, right? And this user, a lot of his theories just go in circles because he blames Jonathan Sherman for Barry and Honey Sherman's murder. He blames international actors, foreign governments, right? So he's not very consistent. So it'd be very interesting if Cedars is actually Viktor Sarudi, the same guy selling stumps for his artwork and furniture store, the Stump Shop. And we'll go into that more a little bit. But all you need to know is that on Kevin Donovan's Q&A page on Toronto Star, there was a comment taken down in a live Q&A about a watch, right? There was an officer named Boris Borisov who was illegally selling watches here in Toronto, and he just got hit with some major crimes. So again, my video is to challenge police corruption, and that's what I'm here to do, right? But just so you know, there was an illegal market of watches that the Toronto police were trying to profit off of. So again, Viktor Sarudi, being a plainclothes officer who was docked in 2017, you can go to his Sunshine list and you can verify that too, right? But I went back to the Sherman's neighborhood and I spoke with the neighbor, Beverly. She mentioned that the watch, which was stolen, Honey Sherman's $1 million watch, was already on the news. She was likely referring to Boris Borisov, but then it confirms what I saw on Kevin Donovan's live Q&A, right? So he can't hide that either. Kevin Donovan's trying to punk out of the story. No, we're not letting you. Sorry, Kevin. But again, right, let's look about, Viktor Sarudi. Who is he? Right? He actually uploaded to Division 33's Twitter and Facebook page about how he was close to the case, as if he was some detective, when really he was just a neighborhood officer. They took this down. So if you go back into the timeline, you're going to find out that there's almost no Sherman content on a lot of their Twitter pages. It's like it magically got erased, as far as I can tell, But yeah, that's just a quick summarization. I want to know, did he sell the $1 million watch, right, for a legal resale to get a stump shop to then net $1 million business? Because if you go on Viktor Sarudi's Instagram, his Twitter page, what you'll find is that he's using a laser cutter and a 3D printer to do a lot of his work. He may have actually got the laser printer and the laser cutter, right? And Barry and Honey Sherman were murdered through a ligature neck compression. There was obviously zip ties that bound their hands, and there was a thin ligature neck compression mark around their necks. Could Viktor Sarudi, with his laser cutter or with his 3D printer, make custom-built thick zip ties that he could have used to murder the Shermans? At least, it's very plausible that he stole the watch and made an illegal resale. At worst, it's looking like a lot sketchier shit. I'm just here to say how it is, right? Again, go back on his podcast, For the Gram. It's like some, you know, tech bro, cryptocurrency, money marketing content. How to get your Instagram content up. For the Gram, right? You'll see him bragging, almost, you know, insulting the Shermans, I believe, is what he's saying. He's saying Barry White, Mrs. Doubtfire, David Copperfield, Barry White, Barry Sherman, Mrs. Doubtfire, Honey Sherman, Takapa Field, their gay son, Jonathan Sherman. That's what I think these jokes are. And he said, you made a reference to a Whitesnake song. Here I go again on my own. He released that podcast in 2022, just for reference. So when the Walking Man video got released, he's joking about the lyrics. Here I go again on my own. Walk the loneliest road I've only known. Whitesnakes. The Walking Man. Here I go again on my own. Walk the loneliest road I've only known. Whitesnakes. Right? He made the reference to Barry Sherman, Honey Sherman, Jonathan Sherman, and the Walking Man, kind of joking that it was a random person and they're never going to find out the case. That's what he was joking about, right? So you can get all my content on my other channel. Policing Theory has been proven wrong. Again, it is what it is. It looks super sketchy from my point of view. Suspect, motive, the weapon, right? And the means of the illegal resale. So I think someone should check it out, because Viktor Sarudi, if you don't know, he lives in Newmarket, and on his Instagram page there was a school bus that pulled up in front of Frank Stronach Park, around 8 Memorial Circle, I think, if I remember correctly, right? It's the only neighborhood that looks like that, as far as I can tell, right? There's a school bus that drops off his kid across from Frank Stronach Park. Right? And why is this important? Why is this important? Because when you look at the 2019 Google Images or Google Maps, you'll see that in that driveway, there's a Ford F-150 and there's also another black SUV. Is the black SUV the 4-door sedan that Kevin Donovan was talking about? Right? If you go on to Viktor Sarudi's Etsy or Amazon page, you'll see that he's selling antennas for a Ford F-150. And on his Instagram page, he's in front of a Chrysler, Dodge, Ram, whatever. I think it's called 7View is the dealership. So he's obscuring what kind of car he bought. I think the post says it's a Chrysler, but then again, he's selling the Ford F-150 antennas on his Amazon page. And guess what? In the video footage of where the school bus drops off his kid, in that driveway, there's a black Ford F-150 and a black SUV 4-door sedan. So there you go. So that's what I want to know, right? Kevin Donovan said there was a 4-door sedan, dark colored vehicle that the plainclothes officer pulled up in the Sherman's driveway. Was Viktor Sarudi the plainclothes officer? Did Viktor Sarudi murder the Shermans? That's what we fucking want to know. We want to know if he used and created the zip ties with the laser cutter, and we want to know if he destroyed the evidence by just re-putting that plastic material into the laser cutter, probably smelting it down and getting rid of it later, or making it into something else. That's another possibility. We want to know, was Viktor Sarudi the plainclothes officer that answered the Sherman's door? Was he the person who killed the Shermans? Did he steal Honey Sherman's watch? That's what we want to know. Thank you so much and have a great day. My other channel is called Policing Theory Has Been Proven Wrong. Thank you so much, and thank you.